Hi everybody, welcome to Saturday Live at the Backyard Bird Center. Promised today that we would talk about ants. I was in a restaurant the other night, was talking to our server and talking about feeding birds, and she said, I quit feeding hummingbirds because of the ants. They drive me crazy. Well, ants are major pests for people who want to feed sugar water and grape jelly and fruit and things like that, because they're attracted to the same thing. But they are not a reason to stop feeding the birds, because the hummingbirds and the orioles will continue to come during the summer whenever those ants can be big pests, but they are preventable. Now, there's a lot of home remedies out there that I've read, and I like very, very few of them. People talk about greasing up their stem of their either their feeder themselves or and with like Vaseline and things like that to keep the ants from crawling out. I've had people even put real grease on those to keep them off. There are things, ant protectors they call them, on the market that actually have pyrethrin in them, and they hang those above the hummingbird feeder. I am against any kind of chemicals close to my hummingbird feeders or my oriole feeders, because the chances, especially like rainy as it's been this spring, the chances of some of those chemicals leaching into the nectar, the sugar water, that is not good. That's dangerous for the hummingbird. So why even risk anything like that when the simple answer is just to use water? Water is free and it is easy, and birds need it for other reasons other than to keep the ants out. But most nectar feeders on the market today come with a built-in, what is called an ant moat. And you can put water in there, and so when the ants come down your stem, they get to the water and they can't get across it. Great idea. But the problem is most built-in ant moats are too small, and they evaporate too quickly, and then the water is so little that it goes away quickly, and the ants can get there and they still get into your feeders, which is what you're against. But external ant moats like these, there's lots of different ones on the market. There's a couple of different companies here. There's different colors, the different sizes. But the idea is you just simply fill the cup with water. It doesn't have to be all the way full. It just needs to have water in it. So when those ants crawl here and they get down, they can't get across that water. And so they have to come up and have to go back out. A few will kamikaze and commit suicide, if they will, and try to float in the water, and of course they drown. But it keeps the ants out. If you maintain it properly and install it properly, it's pretty much a foolproof system. The hooks that you hang it on, you may have to add your own little S hook or something if you need to. If it's too small for your hook, you can add that and hook that through there. These actually come with a little S hook down here so that you can remove your hummingbird feeder or your oriole feeder, take it in, clean it up, get fresh in it, come out. You don't have to take your nectar protector in every time. It just slips on and off of there. Same thing here. Comes off, you can just keep it in there and just fill that. You can actually bring a cup back out and just refill that with water. Every once in a while you're going to want to take it in and clean it. But one of the great things I said is that about providing, well, this is an additional source of water for your birds. I've had chickadees land up here on the lip and drink the sugar, drink the clear water, just plain water out of here. And I've had people say, well, I like to put some oil, like cooking oil, on top of it so it doesn't evaporate as quickly. Well, then you take it away from drinking for the birds who need it. So if you do that, you can, but I don't recommend it, because I like providing a little extra source of water for my chickadees and my goldfinches. They'll drink right out of the little nectar protector or the ant moat here. Now, ants can climb glass. So some people go, oh, well, I'll attach a hummingbird feeder to my window, and next thing you know, they have ants all in it. Well, this hummingbird feeder actually has an ant moat that you fill with water and attach that to your window, because the ants can climb up the glass and get into your hummingbird feeder. So they even make ant moats that protects the window feeders or your hummingbird feeders. So whether it's an oriole feeder, a fruit feeder, a jelly feeder, just plain sugar water, the ant moats work great, and you can interchange them, you can use them, but we have a lot of people that have, you know, one ant moat for every nectar feeder they have out there, whether, like I said, whether it's orioles or hummingbird feeders. And I've had people use them on suet feeders because the ants will get into suet sometimes. So you can actually hang a suet feeder from the bottom of this, but just make sure that you've got the water in there. I like it about 2/3 full, is usually where I keep mine. But it's simple, it's easy, it's safe. You don't want to do anything to harm your hummingbirds or your orioles or any of your birds. So ant moats, simple solution for defeating ants and keeping them out of your feeders. So easy peasy. What is the saying? Easy peasy chicken squeezy something, I don't know. But it's easy to do, it's safe. Thanks to the idea for the program. Send in future ideas because we want to talk about what you want us to talk about. I've got one coming up in the future about trying to keep house sparrows out of bluebird boxes. I know I'm trying to get to that one. That was sent in, and that one's coming up soon. So, but other program ideas, send them in, give them a like, give them a share, and until then, come by, let's talk birds.